This video is to demonstrate the hot switch function on the Eventide H9, how to program it within H9 control within a Windows environment. We're in Windows 8.1. This is H9 control, the latest version, version 2.6, which includes the new space-time effects algorithm. So I've set up a custom user preset with some light chorusing in the modulation section, medium length reverb 3.2 seconds, delay A line at 377 milliseconds, and delay B line at 610 milliseconds, sort of a medium galloping delay, with some light modulation and a light reverb on it. Now, to gauge custom programming these parameters with the hot switch, this particular preset has come from the factory with hot switch settings of 2.2 seconds mapped to the reverb decay, 912 milliseconds mapped to both delay A and delay B. So I want to change these to different reverb and delay settings when I engage the hot switch for a custom variation of my preset that I've established. So, starting with the base settings for this preset, with the left mouse button I'll hold down for approximately 3 to 5 seconds on the hot switch button until it's flashing to indicate that the hot switch is in programming mode. Then I will move the decay. I want the reverb decay when I engage the hot switch to be up around 8 seconds even. So there we go, a little over 8 seconds. I want the delay, I'll key this on the keyboard, on delay A to begin at 610 milliseconds. So I'll enter that numerically keyed on the keyboard, and delay B with the hot switch engaged, I want to jump to 987 milliseconds. Now disengage that hot switch from flashing. I'll return to my base settings for this preset. 3.2 seconds of reverb decay, 377 millisecond delay A, 610 milliseconds delay B. When I engage the hot switch, that jumps to my nearly 8 seconds of reverb, 610 milliseconds on delay A, and 987 seconds on delay B, giving me a much longer galloping reverb. Now, to save these settings, to lock them into this user preset, I go to Save, Save PC, and Overwrite Preset. Now these changes on those 3 parameters are locked in as a custom variant to this preset anytime I engage the hot switch. Now, to continue this concept further, I will hold down on the hot switch for 3 to 5 seconds till it's flashing, indicating it's in programming mode again. I'm going to add some more custom parameters. The reverb level, I'm going to bump up to 67%. That decay of the reverb, I want to make sure it gets up just over 8 seconds. So, the color of the reverb, the timbre and brightness, I'm going to bring on up to 89%. And then the delay level, I'm going to bump up to 67%, same as the reverb level. And then the feedback on the delay, I'm going to bump up from 30% to about 49%. Now, I'll check those by unclicking on the hot switch. Now, when I engage the hot switch, I'm jumping all of my settings up to approximately where I've reset them under the hot switch. I test to see now if I want to correct, say, a couple of these. I can go back to the initial settings, hold down on the hot switch till it's flashing again. I wanted to make sure that that reverb level jumps to 67%, and that the delay level will also jump to 67%. So those are pretty much matching. I'll check it by taking out and then re-engaging the hot switch. Yeah, those have come out to 67% even. That's right where I want them. That decay I still want to get up to 8 seconds. So I'm going to disengage the hot switch, hold it down for 3 to 5 seconds till I get it flashing in program mode, and again want the decay to bump on up to just over 8 seconds even for a long decay tail. So right about there. I'll disengage, re-engage a couple times, make sure that I like where those have settled in. Reverb level is shifted 1 point, but that's okay. So I'm happy with those new hot switch mappings. Again, I go to save, save to PC, and overwrite preset. So now when I go ahead and engage the hot switch, I'm going to go from my base preset settings with that medium short galloping delay to my long delay. Now with 8 seconds of reverb and a higher level of reverb and delay. And nearly 50% feedback on the delay rather than only about 30%. Now to take this concept even further, I'll go back, hold down again on the hot switch so that we're in programming mode of the hot switch, and then I'm going to go to my modulation section. We'll increase up the chorusing to about 30% modulation amount. I'm going to double my modulation rate from 1.11 to 2.2. So I've increased the modulation amount and I've increased the modulation rate. I've doubled it from 1.11 cycles per second to 2.22 cycles per second. Now again, I'll check to make sure. Disengage the hot switch, re-engage it. We have all of the parameters possible except for the master mix have now been remapped to custom settings as a variation on this preset when I engage the hot switch. I'm happy with all those changes. I'm going to go to save, save to PC, and overwrite the preset. So now again, I can go from this medium short delay and reverb with light modulation. I kick in the hot switch. And have a very long, lush, heavily reverberated delay with a heavier level of modulation. That is how you program the hot switch.